Yeah, we're officially open for business. That sounds very mechanical. But yeah,
Yeah.
good evening. Welcome to the meeting. Happy New Year. Welcome to
Happy New Year.
2026. Yeah. So we're officially open for work in Chaos Disability Inclusion and Accessibility Group, open for contributions, and actually excited to be back. Uh, we have like an icebreaker question. So I don't know. I'll just go ahead and share this to share the
Mm.
link to the chat. Uh, sorry. I don't know. I don't know why it's like this. I'm supposed to be able to do whatever I like. Okay. I don't know why it's anyway, it's not laptop share, so it's looking weird. But yeah.
Mm.
Like this whole you're sharing thing, I don't want it to be showing. I like weird. Anyway, so
Well, okay.
I just sent the link so you can just write your name and describe your year with one word. I mean, up until November, I would say mine was traumatic, was interesting, it was amazing. Then November, no, October ending, it became traumatic, but that's cool, I guess.
Mm.
But I'm happy we're back. So we're pretty much supposed to start with this. Um, I guess I cannot do this weird magic that I want to do right now, so I just have to leave this. So we're supposed to start with strategies. So this is basically like the same template anyway, but a new uh sheet, right? A new document sheet for the year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the first thing we're supposed to do this year is to actually plan. But before then we had like I think we already talked about summary of what we achieved and what we did. I think I know I was in the meeting. I wasn't speaking, but I was in the meeting where Brian was the chair, like the chair for the meeting, and we talked about the things we had achieved in 2025 and the things we couldn't achieve. But just to like jog our memory, I'd love to take us back to that document. So that's the document
Okay.
here. I think the goods were for the things we had, excuse me, we had achieved. Um, the things we couldn't are the ones that are in gray, but the green goods are like the things we achieved. So, and I think supposedly like should I say supposedly or should I say accurately, the things we do not achieve, we obviously have to carry them over to this year, right? Hopefully first quarter,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what the plans are like. So we have like open source and accessibility webinar. We didn't have that, right? And it would be great for us to have that this year. So I don't know where we want to place that. So we still have to go to our drawing board and see what we want to achieve in the first quarter. So um this meeting is supposed to be preemptively basically like um talking about what we want to achieve,
Strategizing.
yeah, in a year as like in total, like what we want to achieve in a year in total. Then when we're done
Yeah.
talking about what we want to achieve in a year, we can now break it down into quarters, right? So given that we
Yeah.
have little attendees right now, we I don't know how much of that we are able to achieve, but what we are going to do is we're going to just mention a few things we want to achieve this year. If it's not so hectic for you. Can you like take notes?
Okay. Okay. Let me let me open my laptop.
Okay, cool. So so this basic the things we did not achieve, we did not do the open source and accessibility webinar. We did not um we did not do an outreach program around DjangoCon for DjangoCon in 2025. We did not do like a workshop. We wanted to do a work something like a workshop. I forgot what event we wanted to put that in. Okay, it's supposed to be either the workshop or the panel session, and we did the panel session. So I think we were not like we did not achieve what we wanted to, but we have to just carry this over because we couldn't do two at once. So we can look for a way to weave in this workshop this year. Then we were supposed to do like a
Okay.
Beyond Hacktoberfest, but I don't think we did. We did not. It was supposed to be like after Hacktoberfest, but fortunately I wasn't so active and I don't know how. I don't think we followed through with it, but we can still push that into this year's Hacktoberfest and make it like a title of the Hacktoberfest event we want to do or whatever. Something the same thing that the technical writing working group usually does, something like that. So we can borrow a leaf from them and do something similar to that.
During
And then
Oktoberfest or after
yes,
Oktoberfest.
during Hacktoberfest, we can do like it can be either during or after. But I'm just saying we can just weave it in during that period since we didn't do it this year. Then documentary. I do not know the idea that Brian had for this. It would be great if he um sorry about that. I do not know
What did we
the
say about the
idea.
workshop?
Sorry?
Sorry to take it back. What did we say about the workshop?
The workshop. Which of them?
Yeah.
No,
You were
we
talking about the
said that it
workshop.
was either supposed to be a workshop or a panel session, but we did a panel session for
Yeah,
Chaos
okay.
Con Africa. So we
Yeah, yeah,
can
yeah.
do a workshop this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the documentary, not know the idea Brian had behind that. But we can always figure that out. We don't have to have everything figured out today. Today's our first meeting, obviously, and we should have like to get more ideas from other people attending. Looking forward to that in the next meeting. My bad, I did
For
not
the
get
documentary.
announced this. Yeah, for the documentary and every other, like I know that we'll obviously have more ideas. I'm just reading out some of the things we did not get to do last year that we might want to carry
Oh,
over this year. Yeah, but for this year, there are no exact plans yet. That's why we are having this meeting. So we can mention a few things. Then in our next meeting, we can mention more. Then section them into quarters and arrange them in this document, like so, just like the one for 2025 currently is. So that's like basically it. So taking us back to the one we have for 2025, 2026 is a blank is obviously a blank sheet. The only thing I left here is the Hacktoberfest and documentary, but it's a blank sheet. So we have an opportunity to plan what we want our year to look like. Right. So um back to the main document. Sorry. Okay, so for um let's start with what we want to achieve first. I skipped the New Year goals to strategies. So, but then what do we want to achieve this year though? Like, what are we looking to achieve?
I think maybe one of the things we would look to achieve is to have maybe more members in our working
Mm-hmm.
group, more contributors. Yeah. Then obviously get more people involved with improving accessibility in open source, maybe the accessibility audits and all of that.
Yeah. I know that has been on a
These are some of
pause for a while. So
yeah.
hopefully we pick it up this year and do it better and finish it up completely. Not just the audits, but the implementations of the audits that are being done. Um, Personally, for me, I'd say one of the goals I would like us to achieve this year is to get more people with disabilities in our community.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that we are now open to having different regions work on their accessibility. So it's not just Africa, we're open to Europe, Asia, Latam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and other how many regions are currently at I feel like I'm
Asia.
supposed to
Did you,
know.
did you mention Asia?
I mentioned Asia, yeah. Asia, Africa, Asia, Latam, Europe.
Yes, Europe,
I just
North
mentioned
America.
North America, yeah. So um to improve on their accessibility, and I'm hoping that we take our first step this year in CHAOSS Europe as well to see if we can make the event as accessible as possible. That's one of the things we want to achieve as a working group or as a team this year, this January. So it's one of the things that we'll also discuss and see how that worked out and how we can use the ideas and the methods to improve other regions. That one, you already mentioned that, but a little bit of a little addition on that. Our audits and making our projects accessible, of course, through implementing the audits that have been made, whether it's the website or the badging website, the official website or the badging website or other projects that we are currently working on or have been working on in the past. Another thing would be to make the community more accessible, of course. I already mentioned having more people with disabilities join the community, and that's only going to be possible if the community is more accessible. I mean, the community is doing amazing when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and accommodating people of different um cultures and regions. We also want to be very intentional and particular about accessibility and disabilities as well. I hope we'll get to achieve that
Welcome,
because
Blessing.
sorry,
Blessing is here now.
who?
Clive.
Hi,
Oh,
good evening.
blessing. Hi, blessing. Good evening. Happy
Good
you're
evening.
here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, happy New
So
Year
yeah,
to
how
you.
are you and Winifred?
I'm
Yeah, I'm
fine.
good.
I'm fine. How
Happy
are you
New Year.
doing?
I'm fine too, thanks.
Okay, so we're just pretty much talking about goals we would
Let
want
me
to
check.
achieve this year and some strategies we can take to achieve them. So we also stroll back a bit to the strategies and the goals we have for 2025, the things we did and the things we want to be carrying over into 2026. And now we're talking about the goals for now. So I mentioned Reading Fair mentioned having more people in attendance in our meetings and improving, and I talked about increasing more people with disabilities in the community, making the community accessible across all regions, not just Africa, but Asia, Europe, Latam, North America, not North America, and also talked about working more intentionally on the accessibility auditing and projects to ensure that projects in chaos are accessible. We are implementing the audits made, yeah, by the team. So I think that's where we are currently. I know that you might want to chip in some things. I know Brian often obviously has a few things he would want to add at his goals. So it would be great if he can join maybe next 2 weeks. But from your own end, what are some goals you think will be great for us to achieve this coming 2026?
We mean this 2026.
Sorry, this
That's common.
this 2026. My bad. This 2026. It feels so new. This 2026, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks for the brief. Well, I think one thing that I've thought of, not really like, I know I think we did a podcast, although I'm not sure I remember, but I think we did a podcast the last time, right? Can we still do that podcast? First off, do we have um, persons with disabilities in chaos community that maybe they are contributors, ability. So maybe we can podcast, maybe do it like an episode to feature maybe one or two contributors that have disabilities in our community to to get to hear from them how they, I don't know how best to put it. Is it like how they are able to navigate in tech, something like that, despite their disabilities? I don't know, just saying.
Yeah, so I
Please, can
think,
anyone hear?
yes, I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I said, of course, that is a great plan. We can continue with the podcast. Um, we do want to have more people with disabilities be more interactive in the group. I think one person with a disability reached out one time in the group. I don't know. But the thing is, because of should I say we are relatively new to being intentional with people with disabilities specifically in the group. Not like we are not open to them, like there hasn't really been a lot of talk about them specifically. So it's possible that they haven't reached out. It's possible that we have people who have disabilities that have not reached out yet. But I think a few people actually did at one point. I think one person even joined the meeting at one point too. So which is why one of the goals is to get them more people with disabilities in the community and active as well, because we made the community accessible to them to be active, right? So we can obviously do that following our follow-up calls with people with disabilities. Are people with disabilities in the group, in the community currently? maybe not a lot, but we have worked with a lot of people with disabilities directly and indirectly. We have organized an outreach program teaching people about open source, inviting them and all. And as a follow-up, many people attended CHAOSS Africa. So we cannot say we are new to interacting with people with disabilities. So of course, we can have them feature in podcasts. All we just have to do is like a follow-up, make sure we provide room for them to actually contribute to actual projects and issues, make them feel like they are contributing to open source in full. Because even for people who do not have disabilities, contributing on their first issue can be a lot. I don't know what your
Mm.
experience was, but for me, when I got into, in fact, when I got into chaos, sorry, when I got into open source in general, I got in and got out because there was a whole lot going on and I was confused until I decided, you know what, let
I
me
still
try
am
again.
confused about
Right.
navigating the.
Right. So imagine how it is for us who do not identify people with disabilities or do not have disability. Now imagine how much more difficult it is for someone who probably has a visual disability that is also finding it difficult to even navigate Slack or communicate and stuff like that. So it has to be like a follow-up call to make sure that they are comfortable with what they know and they're willing to interact and contribute. So, and that's one of our goals for 2026. Like, it doesn't matter the number, even if it's one, two, three people who are actively contributing, interested in chaos, and want to continue to contribute, it is a big deal, right? Awareness is one thing, teaching a whole lot of people, and then people who are willing to actually join and do the work is another. I think that's one thing we should prioritize. So yeah, podcasts. I agree with you. It's not difficult to get people who are contributing to open source to speak in the podcast, but we need to get them to actually contribute to chaos actively and actually enjoy contributing, right? And I know I would give chaos that hand. I'll give them that thumbs up because chaos, the maintainers in chaos know how to make people excited about contributing to open source in chaos, whether it's their first issue or not. Personally, Kingsley and Ruth made it easy for me to make my first issue and continue to contribute to open source because of the great community. So chaos is good with that. So we need to like extend our hands now and make it even more inviting for people with disabilities. So yeah. So so that's pretty much what we wanted to talk about. So I don't know if we should talk about strategies now, given that I feel like we still have a whole lot of stuff we want to talk about as it concerns what we want to contribute, like sorry, what we want to achieve rather this year, like the goals we want to achieve this year. I don't know. Is it right for us to start talking about strategies already? Okay, how about we talk a little bit about the strategies we want to follow to achieve some of the goals that we have mentioned. Let's say, for instance, increasing the attendees or the attendance of people in our meetings. Right. How do we intend to do that? Please, ideas, because I really want our number to grow. Like last year, we were like, the highest number we had was 7. I'm hoping we get like up to at least 10 people this year and starting off strong and starting with just 3 of us. I need our numbers to grow. Like, how do we do that? How do we get more people to join? Please, 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 ideas, guys. Take it away. Winifred, you can start.
How do we get our numbers to grow? Um, Maybe it could help by talking about having a brief chat about it in the general meeting, and maybe just chiming in once or twice in one or two meetings that this is what we do, but this is what we are doing. Because there are a lot of working groups, it's quite easy to like get lost in everything that is going on in chaos. And um, yeah, I think maybe talking about it in the working group, or maybe dropping a Slack message. I'm dropping a message on Slack in maybe I don't know which of the channels. Would that be the general channel or the random channel? I don't know. Just talking about it. We're looking for contributors. If you have disability or something, or you're interested in improving PWD, or improving accessibility in open source, we're currently looking for more contributors. The way Elizabeth, not Elizabeth, Peculiar does has for the education working group, where she just randomly drops messages on Slack channels about the working group. I think maybe we could try that because we only meet like once in 2 weeks. So it's a lot of time for someone to forget that this is happening. And then the next time we get a reminder that the working group is actually active, it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes to, or maybe an hour to the meeting. Yeah. So uh, maybe like constant reminders could help. Yeah. And maybe not just dropping a, um, maybe not just a Slack message, but maybe dropping a message that maybe shows an activity or something that we're trying to do so that anybody that's coming in has has already thought about what in a way they want to contribute. Yeah. For instance, when Popular is dropping message about the education working group, it doesn't just say education working group we're looking for contributors. It says if you want to we need help with creating content and creating video content, writing script, proofreading the script or whatever, editing the script. You, so we have issues open and all of that. Join us in the education working group and all, to contribute. She does that. So if we could add an activity to it and be like, okay, an accessibility audit is going on. If you'd be interested in improving accessibility on the CHAOSS website or something, reach out to us in the join the accessibility working group. Then, or if you have any questions, also just leave room for questions. Also, because some people might be curious. If just leave room for questions. So I think that's what I'm thinking about. And yeah, I think that could be one way to increase attendance. I don't think we've tried that yet. So yeah.
This is so thorough, and I agree with you. Like, I do agree with you totally, especially the part where we can actually seek out attendees from the general meeting because, like you said, a whole lot of meetings are going on. In fact, it's meeting week by week. After this week, a series of meetings happen, and then next week another series of meetings. So, if you're not careful,
Yeah.
it's a lot. But I agree with you with the fact that if you have a way to contribute, or if you have something to do, then probably you might want to attend a meeting, which makes sense. So I think one way is creating issues for people to contribute to. And I feel like we have
Yes.
like a few things we can work on to create issues, whether it's accessibility audits or whether it's a blog. Blog could be not fully like at our work, maybe technical writing, but getting ideas from the accessibility working group to write can be a reason to join like the call. So I do agree with you. We can work on that. So let's maybe put that down, like creating one strategy is to create issues people can contribute to and invite them by attending general meetings. Great, I agree. Blessing. What other ideas could you chip in?
Hi, Toya, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's on. Yes, so for me, I'm going to say since we want to like create more awareness. I don't know if we can also focus attention like creating awareness on social media, since we don't have like a specific number of people that have disability. So I think there's every possibility that there might be persons with disabilities that have not even known about the community more yet. So maybe if we can do more um, awareness on our social media pages, maybe Twitter, LinkedIn, if we do have an account there, to invite like persons with disability to the community more. Probably many of them don't know about the community yet.
Yeah, that's true. I also thought about that. Like, we can work with the social media team and look for a way to bring back Twitter Spaces, maybe monthly, depending on how long we want our publicity to last. You know, emphasis on um inviting people with disabilities and people interested in working with people with disabilities in contributing to open source projects and accessibility issues, which still boils down to having accessibility issues created that people can actually contribute to. So yeah, that makes sense.
There's also this is it like community? I don't know. I've not read full information about it. Accessibility in Nigeria. It's something we can partner with them to look for.
Yeah, continue.
Can you hear me? Sorry, I needed to attend something. So I was saying that
It's fine.
if we can look up this, there's an accessibility. I don't know whether it's a group or something. It's called Accessibility Nigeria. If we can partner with them to like get, I think they have open source contributors that have disabilities or something. Maybe we can look it up more, get more information, and see if it's something we can partner with them to get contributors that actually have the disability that can maybe help boost the awareness of our community.
Oh, great. Now that you mentioned it, we have actually partnered with Accessibility Nigeria a few times. We partnered with them for
For
the
Chaos
bridging, yeah, Chaos Con Africa and the other
and
outreach
our outreach.
projects,
Yeah.
yeah. So we can also do that again, where we partner with them to invite people, follow up on. I actually have a few contacts of people who attended CHAOSScon. I think one of the things we wanted to do that we didn't follow up on was to reach out to those people on like a third call and say, okay, you were available for the outreach program. You even followed up and attended CHAOSScon. Would you like to contribute to so project? Which again boils down to having projects available for people to actually contribute to, right? While both the maintainer and the team members are willing to actually work with these people to make their first issue contribution. So amazing idea. Partnering with Accessibility Nigeria and other accessibility organization or disability inclusion organizations to invite people firsthand to contribute social media awareness and Twitter spaces. Amazing, amazing ideas. Okay. With this so far, I feel like other people might have also very trailblazing, amazing ideas. So let's just leave that open for now and let's talk about strategies we want to use to achieve uh I feel like increasing number of attendees is pretty much works, it's pretty much like proportionate to or corresponded to increasing the number of people with disabilities in the community, because if more people are attending, we have more people in the community. So
Practically,
um
it's more of people
yeah.
that.
Sorry, you were saying. You were saying something.
Oh, no, I was trying to confirm what you said that increasing attendance is synonymous to number of PW members. Like the first point and second point are related.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so the next point, so for making CHAOSScon Europe accessible with myself, pretty much just me, because the whole planning stage was happening during the holidays and there was no meeting. So in as much as I was the accessibility lead for the project, I don't know if any other person volunteered to be part of the organizers, but it would have been great to be working with like accessibility team on it. But let me tell you what we're doing so far, not like in details organizational organizer information. I don't know if that's a thing, but like the main thing we're doing is we're trying to see if it's going to be possible for us to get sign language interpreters available in the event. So we've done pretty much the digital part of the accessibility, which is
Wait, wait,
ensuring
hold on. What language will the sign language? Which sign language
English.
is using? It's
It's Europe, so they
ASL
are
or
English
BSL.
speaking. So Europe, you so now it's going to be dependent on the language spoken in the region, which is what I've been trying to get hold of. My bad, I actually got a contact, but I've not been able to reach out to the person just yet. But I will since the year has started now. Because to be fair, the person probably is going to be closed for work too because of the holidays. So I didn't really reach out. Hold on, let me see. So mm, yeah, so I got like a contact to reach out to somebody, a community that has deaf people are connected to sign language organizations. So I intend to do that this before, of course, before the event. See how that works, right? But we're working on that. Like I said, we've handled the one for the venue. We actually worked hand in hand with people in charge of the venue to make sure that the location was accessible. Um, Also worked on that for the digital accessibility, providing accessible slides, giving accessibility pointers to speakers, and of course, volunteers will be will be briefed as well before the event. So that's so we're going to be using, of course, CHAOSScon Africa was a yardstick, and we're trying to see if what we achieve with CHAOSScon Africa, we can achieve that with Europe, and if that works, we can broaden our wings or whatever to other regions, right? So that's that. Because we're no longer like accessibility Africa, sorry, yeah, disability, inclusion, accessibility Africa, but like just accessibility. So we're touching all regions. So that's another thing we're achieving. Hope I'm not talking too fast. I am sorry. I am sorry. Hope it's not too fast for you, Winifred. So
Oh, okay.
that's that for CHAOSScon Europe. Therefore, more accessible audits. Of course, I intend to ensure that the myself and my team members, of course, eager, but just to hopefully we get to meet more people who are willing to do audit. So someone actually reached out to me, willing to be audit, and amazingly, she is a person with disability. Oh, that just clicked. So this can be an opportunity for her to actually start. Oh, see me with bright ideas. So I can just like,
Mhm.
I didn't remember this on time. She would have joined the meeting, and I'm sure she'll be like, um, willing to and stoked to join. But so we in order to increase the number of people actually doing the audit, add more people, and yeah. So that's pretty much it. I guess that's all we have for today. And funnily enough, we have actually covered a lot of things, even though we were just a few people. And I'm happy to be meeting with you guys this year. And I hope this year is going to be amazing as last year, even more amazing. I will get to achieve a lot of things in the working group
Yeah.
this year. Yeah. So, does anybody have any other additions? So, I'm going to obviously leave this open. And thank God the minute is recorded so people can always go through, leave this open for more addition, and then we can officially create our strategy document, which is going to be a guide for us to actually start work for the year. So any additions before we come to the end of the meeting today?
None for me.
Okay. How about you, Blessing? Is Blessing still on the call?
Oh no, she isn't.
Oh, okay. I guess her internet or something. Okay.
Mm.
Oh, good. So this is where we come to the end of our meeting for today. Looking forward to seeing us in our next meeting. Yeah. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye bye.